GM, and welcome to another Kyzzen Livestream, where we feature notable projects and initiatives across the Solana ecosystem. Now, before we begin, we would greatly appreciate it if everyone could help to like, comment, and share the live stream to share the fun and alpha with everyone on X. Today, we are joined by gachasports, a platform for sports collectibles on Solana. Without further ado, let's bring them on.
We don't have no sound effects. We gotta have sound effects, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Hey. Good morning. Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah, GM, how are you doing, Hadi?
I'm doing good, man. Just waking up here in Los Angeles. Back from a big weekend in Miami. We spent $65,000 in the last 3 days buying sports cards. If you guys are curious as to what $65,000 of sports cards look like, please check out the Gotcha Sports X. We put up a little video yesterday with Collector Crypt that went kind of viral, and we showed everybody some of the big cards that we bought, man. It's been a good weekend, and we're gearing up right now to buy more. That's all we do every weekend, man. We're just loading up the gotchas.
And you guys are doing this at the trade shows, yeah?
Yeah, so what we're doing is, I'm really authentic and big in the card space, and so, going to card shows is kind of like, it's like hunting for gold. I don't know how to explain it. It's like being on the beach with like a little miner, and you just go through and you're looking to see what people have in their collections, and you're buying. And usually at card shows, you're buying and selling, but to be just a buyer is a lot more exciting because it's like you're just walking in there looking for things to buy. And I think what's more rewarding than just buying for myself is actually buying for the gotchas and buying for people. Like knowing that we're doing the work to bring in some insane card and that somebody's going to have a chance to rip this on our platform is like very rewarding. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very cool feeling.
Got you. Yeah, it's like doing your homework, but at the same time, you have no idea what you're going to expect. And, once in a while, hopefully a grill lands in your lap, right?
Yeah, and like we pick up crazy stuff at the shows. I mean, this weekend I have a separate video dropping on this. It's part of the video that's on our X right now on Gotcha Sports. But I picked up this LeBron James downtown 2023 card, and the reason the card's special is like you can see the city of Cleveland in the back, and it's like he was only with the Cavs for a couple of years on that return stint. They won a championship, and now he might go back there to finish his career. So that card in particular, not only is it very hard to find, like it's under like a 10 or 15 pop count, but that card is probably going to be a very big card if and when he signs with the Cavs again, which we all think is going to happen. So, it's stuff like that where you're finding like jewels in diamonds in the rough and bringing them on chain. It's fun, man. It's cool to give that opportunity to all these people.
Absolutely. Before we dive any deeper, I would love to hear your story. Like, how do you come about to found Gacha Sports?
Yeah, so I mean, look, my story's pretty interesting. I started off a lot in the sports space. When I was in college, I was a personal assistant to a couple of NBA players. I worked with an NBA player named Jalen Rose, and he's a big commentator now. But I worked for him in college, and I started to really get into basketball. And then as I kind of matured and graduated college, I ended up I managed a couple of bigger name NBA players, which was really fun. And then I got to a point where I started a marketing agency, and we started to work in sports and marketing. And so, I worked with the NBA Players Association. I had a very good client in them. I helped our agency, like we produced NBA All-Star Weekend in Toronto and in Los Angeles for the Players Association. So we were doing events and kind of, these big moments for players. And I really fell in love with sports. We started to work around the Super Bowl and F1 and all these really great things. And in 2021, I got into the NFT boom, and we started to work a lot with NFTs, doing events and putting things together. And I realized that there was like a big community in Web3. Yeah. And then finally in 2024, when meme coins kind of came back into play, I jumped right into Web3 and kind of found myself at the intersection of, sports, entertainment, and Web3. And, I was going to all the big conferences and everything from, Korea Blockchain Week to Token in Dubai and ETH Denver, and working with all these different platforms. I was consulting, I was marketing, but I always wanted to build something of my own.
Yep.
And I had a really big passion for obviously sports, and starting trying to connect the dots on how things could be better built online on chain.
Yep.
And I discovered gotchas actually just earlier this year,
Oh,
in maybe March. It was pretty late. I mean, this idea has come together so quickly. And when I discovered it in March, I started to kind of audit and see what was happening in the sports world of gotchas, because I know Pokemon and TCG were so big. And I went to a bunch of different sites, and obviously Collector Crypt to me was the best platform. They had the best audience, and they had the best product. And I went on there, and I looked at the sports that they had, and I thought to myself, how can I add to what's going on here? Like, how can I make sports even bigger? And so I messaged a good friend of mine. Shout out to Ansem. He's killing right now with the meme coin,
yep.
the bull, the black bull. But I messaged Ansem, and I kind of told him about this passion that I had, and he knew that I love sports. And I asked him to connect me with the Collector Crypt family. And so
Wow.
he connected me with the guys from Collector Crypt. I ended up meeting Dakota. Shout out to Dakota
Yep.
from Collector Crypt, Bass Buddha. And me and him sat together at a card store in Miami, and kind of just started talking about, gotchas. And I asked him about, the sports side of Collector Crypt. And he told me that, it was kind of less than 4% of their business right now, 3% of their business. And so
Right.
that to me felt like a really big opportunity, because as I go to all these card shows, it's 50% sports, 50% Pokemon, 50% sports,
Yep.
50% Pokemon. So I couldn't understand why online had a gap. And, I initially start off just kind of buying product for the gotchas through
Mm-hmm.
Collector. That lasted like a week. And then I was given an opportunity to basically, not only buy, but use their APIs if I wanted to create something in sports. And, I've been part of a lot of projects, like a lot of people have in the space. I've been part of projects that have raised millions of dollars, and had, 5, 10 devs working on a project. And I didn't want to go do any of that. I didn't want to raise money. I didn't want to I just knew I could do this myself. And
Yep.
so I partnered with an amazing dev that I'd worked with over the years. We concepted out this name, gachasports. I couldn't believe it was available. We registered it. We built and shipped the site within, I think it was like 13 days.
Wow.
Gachasports, yeah. And in that 13 days, I continued to buy product for the gachas and for Collector Crypt. They've been an
Yep.
amazing supporting partner. And in our first month, we're trending upwards of $300,000 in volume. We've been getting our last podcast that we did got over like 1.3 million views.
Yep.
So it's been really, really successful. And we've also got the support of Collector Crypt. They've been really awesome for us as partners and as family, just amplifying our messaging. Ansem has been awesome. He's reposted us numerous times. He's also talked about us as kind of one of the platforms to look out for on Solana, something that really gives people usage. And then, shout out to the Solana Foundation. I mean, they support their builders like nobody else.
Yep.
They have amplified our message. They have posted video quotes from me. They continue to embrace what we're building on chain. And, it's just the perfect storm, man. It's the perfect storm, the perfect opportunity, something that I believe in long term. And I really advise anybody who's watching this, if you're remotely curious about gotchas and sports cards, please visit Gachasports. Please follow us on X under Gachasports. Stop for 10 seconds right now and just follow, because you're going to get so much knowledge. You're going to get so much introduction to this world, where my goal is here that if you know nothing about sports and you
Yep.
know nothing about sports cards, we'll give you enough information so you can participate and be part of it. That's really the messaging here. We want to make it approachable for everybody.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for the introduction. There's a lot to unpack. First of all,
Yeah.
yes, Gacha Sports, great name. I
Thank
agree.
Thank you.
And good job, getting in touch with Ansem, and I'm so glad that he's supporting you guys. The guy's a legend. But I really like your story, because most of the founders I talk to is basically people who are aspiring to be founders in Web3 and then trying to find PMF, whereas you come from a background that is very illustrious, very deep into MBA and the real sports world, and trying to see how you can leverage Web3 technology to further a goal. That's always an amazing story to me. You started in 2021. Did you do Top Shot back in the day?
I didn't.
What?
I can I be honest?
Sure.
I don't love Top Shot. I like fundamentally like their concept.
Yeah.
There was something, I'm like a diehard fan. So there was something strange to me about collecting like video clipped moments. Like it didn't feel like it would go to me. I collected cards as a kid. So
Right.
like I have more value in, something physical that I could like kind of
Yep.
feel and touch in sports. So I never really got into Top Shot, but I
Right.
thought the concept and idea was amazing, right? I think that Panini's doing a good job right now. I don't know if you know what Panini's doing, but Panini has their own, they're basically taking their own card. Now they've lost the NBA license, so it's not as great, but they've taken their own cards and created NFTs against their own cards. They don't have physical cards behind them, but they're booming right now. It's really interesting because it's coming directly from Panini. I do think Topps will probably get into this world at some point because they have all the licenses. But yeah, the concept is good, but I think with physical cards behind it, the concept becomes amazing, and I think that's the reason we're seeing so much success with gachas and on chain, right? But yeah, Top Shot was like the entryway drug to gachas, and I also have to give them their props. I mean, they were way ahead of their time,
Yeah, it was a great experiment, and they really did pretty well for those couple of years when it was at the top, right?
Yeah.
I've no idea how they're doing today. I haven't caught up in a minute, but
I met with the founders in
nice.
in Dubai a few years ago, and I think they obviously after the boom had kind of settled.
Yeah.
But I think there's a bit of a reemergence. I think they're starting to see some traction again from what I see online. So not surprised.
Yeah, and I mean, Sports Collectibles is I mean, it's a classic, right? It's always been here. I actually was watching. I believe it was King of Collectibles, right? Golden, right? I think their background is sports memorabilia auctions before they got into partnership with Logan Paul and went nuts on Pokemon cards. But it's fascinating. Like it is, I guess, is Gacha Sports looking at, I guess, specializing in cards, or are you guys looking at potentially broadening into other kind of memorabilia as well?
Yeah, I think people have to realize a couple things. I think a gacha machine is essentially a really fun, and for people who know what a gacha machine is, I hope people do. But if you don't know, it's a Japanese style machine that basically randomizes things that you can pull and win. And so if you think about it like the claw at your local arcade, it kind of the claw goes in, it pulls something out, and that's what you get. So it's a bit of a fair and random way to distribute prizes to people.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we just partnered with, shout out to XP Ticket on Solana, but we actually did a really great campaign with them and Collector Crypt where we put physical World Cup tickets into the gacha machines. Oh, wow. And so over the last few weeks, as people were ripping on our site, you could actually rip a World Cup ticket and go to the World Cup, right? And we had some incredible games and people could win, and people did win. And if they won a ticket and they couldn't go, they could actually sell the ticket back at 90%. So when you talk about this ability for us to do things outside of sports cards, I think it's there. We're literally doing it on day one with tickets. And I think that, as sports memorabilia picks up, I think we want to, open it up. But right now, I feel like, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. Like, I don't want to have everything sports. And then it's like, no, I want to focus on sports cards. Exactly. And I think as it grows and the industry grows, that we'd be open to mixing more things together. But I think it's definitely on the roadmap, just not anytime soon right now. I think right now we want to be laser focused on the opportunity.
Gotcha. No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, get the core product line all set and running, and then we could go into, I mean, it'd be fun to have a degen mode where you literally have no idea we're going to get it, right? It could be a baseball card, it could be a baseball bat, it could be a glove, it could be a ball. I mean, there'll be time, I guess. I mean, again, sports memorabilia, he's been here forever, since collectibles was even a thing. So yeah, I think plenty of time to
I've heard, and by the way, I've heard rumblings. I know that kind of stuff is going to start coming. I know that we're looking at opening it up a lot more. So I think that product will eventually come on chain. But yeah, the idea is right there, right? I think you can gamify anything and make it fun. So yeah, there definitely be a day when you can pull out Mike Tyson's gloves or a Shohei Ohtani bat or a Steph Curry jersey. I think definitely that's coming down the line. And that's one of the advantages that I think sports has over Pokemon TCG. No hate to Pokemon TCG, by the way, guys. You guys are number one. You dominate the world. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, what other industry can you take a Charizard's collar? Or can you take a, you can't, right? But with Steph Curry, you can take a game basketball, you can take a jersey, you can take LeBron James shoes. I mean, there's a lot more in sports that you can collect
And
besides
the
just the cards.
signatures, right? The
Yeah.
signatures in sports. There's a like Pokemon cards. Very very rare to hear of signed items, which is like a clear value additive part of sports memorabilia. Yeah,
And I,
and in sports, like especially I guess the fallen heroes, right? The ones who have unfortunately passed away. Like how much a lot of these goods skyrocket in price as compared to Pokemon, where I mean, it's the creators and that's it, right?
but that's what I love about sports cards, right? Is like, so for example, we bought a Kobe Bryant autograph
Yeah.
yesterday, okay? And we put this Kobe Bryant autograph into the gachas. Again, it's in the video. If you want to go check on X, Gacha Sports, I posted the video yesterday. And I showcased this really beautiful Kobe Bryant card. Now, when you think about that card, like I almost get like emotional holding the card. It sounds really strange to say. That's the card right there. So if you can you pull that card up right there? Just pull it up. So I get emotional holding this card, right? It's an on-card autograph, and I'll tell you why. Kobe Bryant, arguably one of the best basketball players to ever just
Yeah.
touch a basketball, right? Obviously passed away in, I believe, 2021. And he touched that card, right? He physically took a second out of his day, signed the card, and
Yeah.
touched it. You can never get that card again. That card is irreplaceable. Today, you rip that card up, God forbid, you can't replace it. He's not here anymore.
Yeah.
So to me, there's like a level of rarity and value that cards like that have. And it's very special, right? And that's why I think sports is so fun. Like, a card like that, like if I rip that card in my gacha,
Yeah.
I'm never selling that card. I'm keeping that card. I'm framing it next to a jersey, and I'm gonna like pass it down to my kids. Like,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of sports, right? Like, just that opportunity. And look at the shot. Like, it's such a beautiful. By the way, that's a BDS 9.5. I think that card's worth around $6,000. It's it's I don't know. It's so special. So those are the kind of things that you can do to connect with audiences, and that's what I love about sports. Is like, if you're a basketball fan, specifically even a Kobe fan, I mean, that's a holy grail card for you, right? To think you can rip that on chain, keep the NFT of it, and redeem that to your house. That's fire. Like, that's a fire concept.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Like, so, like in Pokemon, obviously, there's excuse me, only one like publisher, right? That prints out literally billions of cards every year. For sports cards, is there dominant publisher for sports cards or?
There is. So here's what happens, right? And here's kind of why I got back into sports cards. What happened before was that a lot of the sports cards were owned, the license by a brand named Panini. Okay.
Right,
And Panini had football, they had soccer, they had basketball, and they kind of hadn't been doing a great job for a few years. And what happens is all these opportunities come with like license terms. So Panini's license was running out, and Topps had the license about 15 years ago. Okay. And Topps has been wanting the license back. And so obviously, if you guys know the story, Michael Rubin, who's one of the most, successful billionaires in the world in sports and entertainment, he ended up buying Topps for some crazy number. And he decides that he's going to, he was an NBA team owner. And so he knew the sports industry really well. And so he gave up his ownership in the NBA team because he couldn't do both.
Okay.
And he went and he's renegotiated these contracts and won the contracts over for every major sport on Topps. So right now, Topps has basketball, they've got NFL, they've got baseball, and they've just announced that they're going to get soccer in like the next year. So they own basically all major sports, right?
Crazy.
And so they are, and now all their product is just starting to come into the market since the last year.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about collecting and you feel like, hey, I'm too late, you're not, because Topps is basically in their first year of all these cards.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing all these products flood to the market that are Topps branded, and it's really easy to kind of follow, right? One of the things that we're doing on Gacha Sports is we're going to be coming out with a wiki soon, where if you know nothing about sports and which cards to get, because that's the feedback I always get from people, is people feel like, hey, I don't know which cards to get. It feels like there's so many. We're going to make that really simple.
Yeah.
And we're going to basically showcase to people, like, if you're buying cards that aren't even with us, here are the cards to go buy at your local store, because these are the ones you want to chase. But again, circling this all back to Gacha Sports, one of the things that I do is I help purchase the product that's current, like 2025, 2026,
Yeah.
the biggest players, the best cards. And Collective Crypt is so amazing. They take those cards and they vault them, and then we put them in our gachas. So like, even if you don't know shit about these cards, you're ripping on our site, you're not gonna be like at risk of like only pulling old cards or pulling like non-desirable cards. Like, we're literally going out every weekend spending $50,000 to $100,000 a week. Like, let that number sink in. $50,000 to $100,000 a week of product that's going into the gachas every single week, and there's new product in there too. So again, the funnel here of opportunity is so massive, and that's why I do these videos on like showing people what we're ripping, because once people really understand the product that's coming on chain every single week, exclusive to Solana, Collective Crypt, Gachasports, people are going to rush to start ripping sports because the product matches the tech. You know what I mean?
Yep. I had two questions here on the differences between, I guess, sports cards and Pokemon cards. One, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think sports cards have a similar kind of game mechanism, right? Like in Pokemon cards, you can actually collect, and play a deck, against player versus player. But for sports cards, it's purely in terms of trying to collect them as collectibles, correct?
Yeah. There's definitely no gamification with sports cards, but I think there's trading is so big in sports cards. I mean, one of the things that and I don't know how much I see this in the Pokemon world at the shows, but at card shows you find that like I would say like 30% of deals are trades. Like, people love to trade cards. So I think that there is some sort of gamification in the sense that people trade. And then I think the other bit is just like collecting sets. Like, I know that's probably very big in Pokemon too. Yeah. But in sports cards, like, people love to collect sets. Like, right now I'm collecting a manga set. I wish I brought it inside. But I have like these like 1-in-1 mangas from a specific year that I'm collecting. And it's like, that's like the gamification, right? Like, I chase that card all over the world just to try to find to complete that.
That was actually my second question. So let's say a whole collection comes out, gets printed for like maybe 80 to 100 cards in a collection. So sports fans actually do try and collect all 80 to 100 of them.
Yeah, that's the exciting part, right? And like, you'll find people. I mean, you watch these videos like even Golden or like some of these videos on YouTube. I mean, they're collectors that spend their whole lives chasing sets, right? They look for like a set in specific, and to me, that's like, again, it's maybe it's not like super gamified, but like, what a cool thing to like pass on to your kids, right? Like, if you're a grandfather that's been collecting and you give it to your kids. So there's such a culture around sports cards. I mean, when you think about sports cards as an asset, I believe, and I can say this pretty confidently, that sports cards have been around longer than Pokemon, right? I think sports cards
for sure
created there would be no cards without sports cards. And I would argue that I believe baseball is the first sports card, right? And it's maybe the first card to go viral, like whatever in the 50s and the 40s. I mean, like, when you look at these Mickey Mantle cards and Jackie Robinson, I mean, these were some of the first sports cards ever created, and there wouldn't be a Pokemon, Charizard today without this Mickey Mantle, this Jackie Robinson. So like, everybody has to give the respect to sports cards as collectors, because we wouldn't be here without that. And that's what I love about this asset class is like, people always ask me like, oh, do you think, Pokemon is topped, or do you think Pokemon's, gonna crash soon, or do you think sports cards are gonna crash soon? And I'm like, guys, sports cards have been around from the 50s, 1950s. Like, I'm not saying the value is just gonna always do this. It's like any market, it's gonna go up and down. But the value will never go to zero, right? And I think that's the difference that we saw with NFTs and we're seeing now is like, if today, God forbid, the whole market crashes, anybody that's holding, a physical card, Pokemon or sports, and redeems it, you can walk to your local card store, your local card show, and you can get out cash, right? No issues. I mean, Bitcoin can go to zero and you can still go cash out your Pokemon or sports card. So it's the longevity here is not even questionable,
I had a couple more questions, if you don't mind, because I'm completely a layman when it comes to sports collectibles.
Sure.
But I guess, is it similar to Pokemon cards where there are a few key grading agencies? So like PSA is also the top, and there's Beckett, and it's the same?
Bang on. Exactly. We share that in common. As sports card brothers and Pokemon TCG brothers, we share that in common.
As a,
PSA
Mhm.
number one, no questions asked. Everybody loves PSA. We're all slaves to PSA. We're all waiting an extra 6 months to get our cards back
Yeah,
because of the backlog. By the
yeah,
way, the backlog of PSA, just so you know, like based on the statistics, is
yeah,
solely caused by Pokemon. So all
yeah.
you Pokemon guys that are sending all your Pokemon cards in, you slowed up the line for everybody. But yeah, Pokemon, Beckett, um, you know, SGC. I don't know. We don't love those other ones. It's sorry, PSA and Beckett. PSA and
Right.
Beckett.
Yeah.
Those are the two that we love.
But the slowdown in grading actually does help in creating even more like a pricing pressure, right? Because the supply of new graded cards is just can't meet demand, right?
One interesting thing
Mm-hmm.
where that I've learned, and
Yeah.
this is some alpha for Pokemon collectors. I hear that it's pretty hard to gem Pokemon cards, right? That like it's not always super easy. Like it's the percentages are lower than what you hope.
Okay.
Sports cards, from what I understand, are a lot easier to gem than Pokemon cards. So if you're just playing the game where you go to shows and buy raw and try to gem, you should look into sports cards because sports cards give you maybe more of a multiple on your cards
Interesting.
when they gem, but they're actually easier to
Great better.
they're easier to grade. I'll tell you why. Like in my hand, like here, look, here's just like a regular Topps Midnight Raw card. Okay,
Right.
this card. So Topps has a bunch of different a bunch of different brands, right? Like you
Yep.
were asking, this is a Dylan Harper. He's kind of this new prospect,
Right.
incredible rookie that went to the finals. But you see this card. This is from like a higher end insert set, right? So
Yep.
these cards, like they're a little thicker. You can see the print quality on them is really sharp. You can see the corners are a bit better. So
Yep.
like these cards are easier to grade because the quality of them is so good. With
Yep.
Pokemon, I feel like oftentimes they're all generally printed on the same thickness of paper. They kind of have the same edges, the same squares. Cards like this, I
Yep.
mean, again, just if you're buying a more expensive pack, you
Yep.
get a better quality card and you have a better chance at gemming. So again, that opportunity lies in sports, and maybe
Yep.
it doesn't lie in Pokemon. Maybe it does, but I don't know if Pokemon has the same style in that way.
Got you. Got you. My last question before we jump right into the platform and check it out is between, I guess, the big three, right? Baseball, basketball, and soccer. Which market is the biggest for cards?
Whoa, loaded question.
Sorry.
Okay, which market is the biggest for cards? Baseball
Is it a demographic question? Like the US, maybe
no,
like
no. I'll tell you what it is. It's seasonality. So
oh,
like right now, World Cup is the hottest thing.
yeah,
So the World Cup cards are selling and moving the most, biggest
got you.
volume, whatever. Football season's approaching, NFL. So next NFL cards are going to get big. Then baseball is going to be in playoffs. Baseball is going to be big. Then NBA is going to come in. NBA is going to be big. So the attention span of the card kind of rotates around the season. When the sport is not being played, the cards are kind of slower. And then as the sport comes, the cards pick up. But overall, I would argue that baseball probably has some of the biggest volumes, specifically because of Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
If you know nothing about baseball, Shohei Ohtani is the Michael Jordan of baseball, and he's still playing. His cards sell in the millions and millions and millions. He had a card sell last week for $2.5 million, a rookie card.
Was it signed?
Yeah, one card, signed card. Yep,
Nice.
it was his one of one superfractor, so it was a very very big deal. And we'll showcase that card. That's a good thing to post on our Twitter, so we'll show people that as well.
Yeah.
Just to see that card. And then I would say like basketball is right there. I mean with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. But NFL is not far behind. Tom Brady, his cards are still going crazy. One of the things you can hear me talking about is like the GOATs. If you know nothing about sports, maybe you've heard those names, right? A lot of those cards of the most popular players of all time, those are the ones that are moving the most. Michael Jordan's market continues to move. Even right now, it's booming. So we're finding, that. But I would say like, if you're thinking about getting into sports cards based on the question you asked me, there's no right or wrong answer. Soccer, I would say, has like the biggest potential because I think it's getting the most attention and people are loving it. But I think if you want to collect baseball, basketball, NFL, you can't go wrong. They're all doing super well.
This concept of seasonality is so interesting because it's not something I think you see in Pokemon, right? Pokemon basically they launch and then it's like as OG as they go, the more value stacks up. But it sounds like the alpha here as a collector is to try and target these different sports groups during off peak, right? Sorry.
here, let's hopefully our clipping will get ding 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 ding. Okay. So you hit it, Omi. You absolutely hit it over the head. And by the way, very great observation. The number one thing you want to do as a collector is collect the cards of the sports that you like in their off season, because you can get them for the best price, right? So if you believe that Patrick Mahomes on the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to have a massive year, go buy his card now, because the minute the games start and they start playing every single week at the shows, you're going to see his cards go up or down in price. But if you want to get the best prices, you buy now. You buy in the off season.
That's awesome, man. That's
great observation, man. See, you're getting into it. I like it.
Seasonality, man. Let's hit right into the platform. I've been dying to do a deep dive on this.
Let's do it.
The world's leading sports gacha, Sports Unlocked, and take your pick. So it looks like you guys currently have 4 gacha machines set up. One for basketball, football, and baseball, respectively. Soccer's coming soon, but there's also a multi-sport one.
And the multi-sport one, we have been adding a lot of soccer into it. And then meanwhile with World Cup, so there are some great cards in it. Look, the three, and this is really important too, and a big shout out to Collector Crypt. But they've given us exclusivity on the basketball, football, and baseball 250 machines. So right now, you can't access those 3 machines anywhere else. Right. Only on our site, only on gachasports. The multi-sport obviously is you can find other places. But the 3 you have there, and we're our alpha and our insight is that we are going to be getting and creating a lot of exclusive machines that we curate that only live on our site. And so that's one of the things that we're looking to do more of. But we're so happy to have those 3 on our site. So today I feel like you pick which you want to rip, but I kind of like basketball. Maybe we rip basketball 250. Maybe we do some 100 multi-sport after 2, but it could just be fun, and we'll see what happens. But it's so much fun. Like it's so much fun to rip these cards. I'll give you a quick tour around. So if you go down, you can kind of see the live pulls. So you can see at any point the cards that are being pulled.
Okay.
This is in real time right now. So anything that's being pulled in the machine constantly gets updated. You can see what other users are hitting. If you scroll up, there's a whole pulls page, I believe, on top. Keep going up. And you can see pulls right there. If you click pulls, you can basically see all the pulls in real time. So you can scroll down a lot longer here.
And that's all PSA 2 doing so well.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. So look at the year of that card. So if you look at that as a PSA 2, you're going to be like, why is that card PSA 2? But if you click the card, that's probably what, a 1950, 1960 card. Yeah. So the older cards in sports don't grade as well. So it's totally acceptable to have. I think one of the best Mickey Mantles is a PSA 6, and it's worth like $2 million. So again, the older stuff you don't find it, but you can start to see here from the stream that there are some really cool cards. They get pulled consistently. Sometimes like at nighttime, I'll just like leave the screen up just to see what people are hitting, and I love to just watch kind of what people are getting. I think that's half the fun of building the site, is like watching when people hit.
Yeah. I had a question, like because we know that Pokemon cards is a severe problem of counterfeits. How prevalent is that in the sports world?
It's actually really difficult. Look, I think that replicating a real picture versus like an animation or a drawing is a lot more challenging because I think you can tell right away with real pictures. Right. I think the other piece of it is that a lot of cards in sports, again, they're autograph based. Next to impossible to recreate an autograph, of an older card. Very, very difficult. So I definitely don't think there's the same level of counterfeit in sports cards as there is in Pokemon. The other bit to it, which I would just say is like, have you ever tried to crack a PSA card yourself?
No, I've seen videos online, but
I've done it. I've cracked cards before just to like take them out and regrade them.
Right.
It is one of the most craziest processes you can ever go through. Like a PSA slab is so, and Beckett's even harder. Like you need a hammer to crack a Beckett. Okay, Beckett's like impossible. But a PSA slab is so hard to crack, right? Like it is so hard to crack this.
Right.
So like the amount of effort and work that like somebody has to go through in sports to counterfeit a card, it's not even worth their time. Like you might as well buy the card. It'll cost them so much to seal the card, to print it, to make sure it looks good. And then we're all crazy collectors, right? So if you bring me a card and it say PSA 10, I'm going to look at it. And right away, if I think it's not a PSA 10. So think about that, right? Just for 1 second.
Yeah.
You give me a counterfeit card. You're telling me it's a PSA 10, it's whatever, whatever. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at the card because I'm a psychopath sports collector, and I'm gonna be like, this doesn't look like a PSA 10, right? Like I'll know right away. So it's like when you think about that side of it, it's just
Yeah.
it's not even worth it for the scammers. They're better off scamming something else.
That's good. For those signed items that are extremely high value, do they ever come with certifications?
You're talking about like signed items that like a jersey and things like that.
Correct. Like they're like,
So that's the whole game, believe it or not. So
oh yeah.
PSA and Beckett, they actually give you COAs for jerseys. So
Oh.
so PSA actually, this is a good educational thing. PSA will actually certify any collectible, right?
Okay.
If you can give them the proof, or they can know. Like I can send them I send them an old baseball card. I had a baseball card that was an aftermarket autograph from a really great Toronto Blue Jay that hit a home run to win the World Series.
Right.
And I sent it to them, and they were able to authenticate the actual autograph. And I thought that was, Joe Carter. That was the player's name. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then I now have it in a slab, but I know that it's authenticated. You can do that with jerseys. You can do that with anything. So PSA is not just for cards. They're for
Oh.
any sports memorabilia. And so what that does, to your point, is when you're looking on eBay and you're looking to buy jerseys or other collectibles,
Yeah.
you can literally look for the ones that are PSA authenticated. So you have peace of mind that
Yeah.
was the player that signed it, right? I don't buy any collectibles unless it's authenticated, like none.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question, man. Omi, I think you're going to be a big sports collector here. I can feel it.
I've been watching too much King of Collectibles, I think.
By the way, I love that show. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that show.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's do one pool, and then we can. I'm sure I'll have some questions about the way all this works. Do you
And
think?
so
Mhm.
one thing that's important to share here. So again, we share a lot with Collector Crypt, obviously using their rails and using their tech. If you scroll down a little bit here on the Sports 100, you're going to see that your expected value here is $105 per pack, right? So what that means is this: it means that on average, you're going to rip a pack that costs $100. But on average, you should get a card back that's $105 value.
Wow.
Now, this is all verifiable on chain. Like, there's no way to scam or rig or misuse the gotcha machines. I can't force out a card. I can't make you pull an amazing card on stream or a bad card on stream. Your odds are published. They're verifiable again on chain, which is what makes this so fun, right? I'm me as a creator and as a developer, I go and use the platform the same way you guys do. I have no edge or advantage. And I think that's kind of the really cool part about it. And we have published odds there the way Collector Crypt does. I mean, you have a 25% chance of hitting something, that's not a common, right? Like a 1 in 4 chance. I mean, that's an amazing set of odds to be able to rip something.
Yeah.
That's really good, right? And so that's what makes this fun. Anything you hit, similar to other mechanics on Collector Crypt, you get back 90% of your value. So if you have a card and you want to give it back to the gotcha because that's not a card you want to collect, we'll buy it back from you at 90% market value.
Right. Is there a turbo mode?
I think there is a turbo mode. We don't have it turned on, but we may even have an option for it. But yeah, it's there. I like looking at every card. I don't like just like flying through it, but I do know the turbo mode exists. Yeah, I think we have it on our site. I got to check, or maybe we just haven't turned it on.
This is so interesting. There are some cards that are in landscape mode. Not all cards are portrait mode.
So different cards are in different landscape versus portrait, and then sometimes the way that we scan them in, we scan them so people can kind of see it. You can see that there's World Cup tickets in this machine too, which is crazy. Look, there's actually tickets to the semifinals. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's tickets to the semifinals. Who knows? Maybe we hit one of those on stream today, and then me and you are at the World Cup semifinals together. That could be cool.
So this is the grill. This is what we're hoping to get.
Yeah. So what you see on the left-hand side are kind of the most valuable cards in the machine.
Right.
And so you always get a sense right away of like what are some of the biggest cards that you can hit in the platform right now. And so you can see here, I mean, those tickets, by the way, there's a pair of tickets in there. So it's not just one, but you can see there's a pair of $9,000 tickets in there. Oh yeah, if you win the tickets, you're going with a friend. shout out to XP Tickets, shout out to Collector Crypt. It was a really, really fun thing to make this happen together, and I think this has been a really cool World Cup experience for us.
100%. Yeah. Should we try open one pack here?
Whatever you want to do. You're the boss today, man. I'm here.
Do it.
And so you can so if you click around here on the packs, you can click whatever pack you want. They're all actually different packs. They're the same
Nice.
cards, but if you're like superstitious like me, where you don't want the front of the line,
Yeah.
click through or hit shuffle and whatever it is, and then you go from there.
Nice. Yeah, I love how you allow us to pick packs. Yeah. Which I don't often see in other gacha platforms.
Here we go. First pack underway.
Okay, let me just
Approve it in your ledger, just like I do. You got to be safe.
right. Let's go. All
right, let's go. Let's check out what we got here.
The music.
Okay. So when you tap it, it's going to reveal. 2022 soccer 10. We like that. We'll take a soccer and a PSA 10.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Oh, okay. Wow. This is one of those cards. Guys, that hasn't, because the World Cup is happening in real time.
Yeah.
The value of this card hasn't gone up yet because you're that quick. So let me check what I think this card is probably worth right now. Hold on. And by the way, guys, if you don't know, Jude Bellingham is on England. He is moving. This is his rookie card. Can you read me the number? The 718-86278. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I would argue this card is probably going to be reselling right now for around $100. It hasn't had any sales like that, so the value is correct on Collector Grip. But just to give you an example, this is a card that if it were me, I would keep it.
I reckon. Didn't he just score a couple of winners against Mexico?
He did. He had an amazing game against him. And so that's the important part about sports cards, right, guys? This is a great first pull, by the way. Like, this is a phenomenal example of if you're just treating the sports rips because you're looking for the highest value card, that's like one way of doing it. And I don't judge people who do that. But if you're like a collector, you're not mad at getting this card because this is a card that I promise you probably by the end of the World Cup is worth more than the $100 rip, right? And if you're a fan, you're like, I'm holding this card for a few years because I could see this card being worth $500 by the next World Cup, right? Maybe sooner, depending on how this guy's career continues to go. So that's the fun of sports cards. It's like, if the player continues to play better, the value goes up. Like, this is an amazing first hit. Sure, maybe my EV value, like whatever, sure, it's like $60 or whatever. But hitting the actual card, fire card. Like, I love this card. England. I'm a big England guy, so I like that card. Anyways, let's send it back into the ocean. Let's sell it back and let's sell it back.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say this is one of the reasons why I don't ever turn on turbo mode, right? Because sometimes you might get a low value card that you actually do have maybe sentimental value for, right? But yeah, okay. The card I really want to get is Haaland.
And we have a bunch. Again, if you go to our X page on Gacha Sports, you can try to pull. I did put in some Haaland cards in there. I think if you scroll down,
Oh, I saw his face earlier.
But so let me tell you the crazy part real quick. I did a video about 10 days ago where I basically said that Haaland was the dark horse of the World Cup, that Norway was the dark horse of the World Cup, that we were doubling down on their product. And it came true like a week later. Like, I called Haaland like 10 days ago and told everybody that he was going to be a big deal. It's in proof in the video. So if you want to follow us for that right here, I literally talked about it right there. See, I said there are 4 obvious and the 5th nobody wants to admire. And if you see this video, I literally call out Erling Haaland as one of the biggest dark horses of the World Cup and said that if they make the quarterfinals, see, you can see I have all 4 people there, and then I have Haaland in there.
Haaland.
Look, but one is the dark horse. But anyway, so I'm a big Haaland guy too. But and there is a lot of early. Again, guys, we're updating this in real time. I probably got 25 Erling Haaland cards into the vaults over the last 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So it exists. That Michael Jordan card is crazy too. The PSA 10.
Do we have it in the football gacha? No.
Now you see when you go up on price points, you can see the cards that are going up on price points, right? So you can see that it gets even crazier.
Right. Let's choose one of these spots here. Which one do you want to choose?
I'm a basketball guy. Let's go with basketball.
Okay, basketball. Nice. All right. So the grill we're going for is Victor Wembanyama. Yeah.
Or do you want to do football? You want to do football? Let's do football. I kind of want that Tom Brady. Let's
Let's
go
do it.
football. Football doesn't
Okay.
get enough love. Let's do football. So this is a 250 pack.
Yeah.
But again, you have a lot of heaters in here.
I was gonna ask, are you guys planning to have like lower value packs and higher value?
We are. We're gonna be introducing, I think, packs on completely different price points. Everything from 25 to 50s. I think we'll do some 150s in there, and we'll start to open up a lot more hundreds.
Yeah.
Right now we're just kind of curating all the content and all
Yeah.
the cards, and I do think that those are going to come very, very soon.
Yeah.
But we do find that a lot of users like to play in the 250 space. It's a very sweet spot on average because the return can be really big. So
Right.
but we're making packs for all different ranges for sure.
Yeah. In this case, it's the same kind of odds, 25% to get better than
Your
common.
odds, your odds never change on
Yep.
whatever machine you're on. Your odds are published, so you can always see.
Beautiful.
And football season is coming, so yeah.
Let's give it a try. All right. I'm just gonna go for the first one. I'm not gonna shuffle it.
All right.
Let's try for. All right. Let me sign this. Okay. Big money. Big money.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fingers crossed. We just want a good card. We want a good card.
Let's
Give
do
a little
it.
tap.
Tap.
Back in
Common.
9 comment. Okay. All right.
All right. All
See
right.
what we get.
Oh, a lens.
DK Metcalf. Yeah. Not. He's all right. But hold on. So even look at this. Can we just talk about this for a second?
Sure.
I didn't actually get to look at the card.
Sure.
This is so DK Metcalf, by the way, is a good football player. Like he's not bad at all. This is a jersey patch card. Like if you look at this card, there's literally a Nike jersey cut from his actual game worn jersey in this card. Do you know what I mean? This is a pretty good collector's card.
Right.
It's not a shabby card. So again, just want to call out here, like this is, we talked about like, memorabilia in sports. Like there's literally a piece of his jersey in the card. DK Metcalf was an incredible player. So again, super cool card here.
Which makes it kind of like a one-on-one, right?
Yeah, of course. Because it is in a sense because there is
a specific match that this jersey was worn in.
That's a game worn jersey card. That's a game worn jersey card.
Nice. Should we?
Let's go to another sport. Let's sell it back and go to another sport.
Okay.
And again, like, look, your spin, your rip was 250 pack, you got back 150. So, you're never really spending that much that you're losing entirely, right? You're always getting back some sort of card. Let's go basketball.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's see.
We want to hit that LeBron or that Wemby or that Anthony Edwards or the Steph Castle. This machine we've really been loading up. Or that Color Blast, Jamal Murray, Jokic.
3 Wembys in the top 6. Nice. Interesting.
Yeah, he's had a massive year. That
go.
LeBron card has been moving too. I think the value of that's gone up actually.
Where do you guys get the price from?
Card ladder. So here's the best part. All your cards that are being comped, we're not using like a Fugazi makeup of the price. It's not me sitting there telling you what the price is worth. This is card ladder, verifiable card prices, updated very often on our site. So when you get something, you can rest assured that you're getting market value. And so when we pay you that 90%, we're paying you that on market value. You would have a hard time getting 90% from a local showback from a dealer. So like we pay very strong on the cards that you're selling back to the gachas. That's the beauty of this,
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna try and get this LeBron. I'm gonna shuffle it 3 times. Just
let's go me. I think you're gonna have some luck here.
Let's go. Big money.
Let's go.
Come
All right, we got a 97 with PSA 10. Let's see what it is. Ooh, Karl Malone refractor.
Nice.
So again, he's a GOAT, right? And he's one of the NBA greatest 50 players. This is a 97 refractor from Bowman's Best. Like this card is pretty insane. Hold still on that card for a second. Sure. I want to check the last sales on that card because sometimes the older cards will move. Let's see. No, it's bang on. The price is bang on. But here, look, if I look at card ladder value, okay, so the
Yeah.
last sale in May and February was 160 and 155.
Yeah.
But before that, um, in January, there was a sale of 360 and 250.
Wow.
So, and the pop count on the card is pop 8. There's only 8 of these cards graded.
What?
So this card, it might be valued at 165 right now.
Yeah.
But you could see this card could sell for 350. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, it's the beauty of the cards, right? If you like that card and you like Karl Malone, if you gave me that card right now, I'd walk into my local show and I'd sticker it at 350 and be like, hey, he's one of the greatest 50 players. Michael Jordan cards are running. He was in the 50 greatest with Michael Jordan. That's a $300 card. That's because I'm a collector.
Yeah.
So, just because of the current value of a card doesn't mean that that's going to be the future value of a card. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think we got to pull a baseball now too, since we've done basketball and football. Maybe you're gonna have better luck with Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
What do you
think? Should we sell it back?
Yeah, let's sell it back and let's go get a baseball.
Let's do it. I have one question while we do this rip. We're gonna drop the stream's gonna drop off X in 7 minutes, but before it does, I wanted to check in with you on so let's say I get a card that I really, really do want to get in real life. How do I redeem it?
So literally on our site, you're going to see basically, I believe if you click on your wallet there on the right, and you don't have to do that on stream, but I think there's a collection tab right there. Right. So when you own a card there in your collection, you can literally hit it if you click something. So click it, and then there should be, because you don't own the card because we sold them back, but there's basically a withdraw option on the card. And you can hit withdraw. It's $4.99. It gets shipped right to your house. You should have it within, call it a week. And it gets right to your thing. So yeah, literally that's it. If you get a card, you can redeem it right off of our site.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Collector Crypt handles all the fulfillment. So nice. when you get a card from us, it's not me like in my garage trying to find the card and send it to you. This is all vaulted in a secret location by a third-party company that insures it, make sure it gets to you. An incredible process. So yeah.
Perfect. The last one, baseball. Shall we do it?
We got to do baseball. Shohei Ohtani, guys. We want to Shohei Ohtani anything, okay?
Let's do it. Before the stream ends off, is there anything you want to share with the audience?
I would love this. Guys, I really say this because I'm passionate about what we've built. If you haven't tried our platform, please go to gachasports.com, sign up. It takes 2 seconds. You can use a privy wallet, your existing wallet. Follow us on X, Gachasports. I know that there's some people watching right now. Please on X, follow us on Gachasports. Even if you don't know about sports, we will teach you about sports. We will drop educational videos. And I would say it's a two-way conversation. The same way me and you have had a great conversation this morning. You can message us at any time and we will respond to you and give you that alpha. And before we go, I see that there's like a minute and a half left on the stream, but very quickly, Omi, I want to give you props. I love the show. I tune in all the time. You're putting creators, you're giving them an opportunity. You're giving people like me a chance to talk to the masses about our platform. You're doing an amazing job. And people like us wouldn't be here today without people like you who put in the work to build the audience and give us platforms. So I want to give you your flowers. And thank you for having me on the show today with Gacha Sports. That's very important to me. And last but not least, you should do your reveal. Hopefully we end the stream on a fun note. But either way, it's fun. Let's go.
Uncommon.
Okay, we'll take that. What do we got? Yeah. What do we got? Hey, Billy Williams, $350 value. Let's go. What a way to end the stream. There you go, man.
Beautiful.
Classic card, by the way. Card, by the way.
We're gonna keep it.
All right, I like it.
Sorry, one last question. The stream can hop off, but so how do we resell it here? We can, right? It's a marketplace, right?
There is a marketplace. If you click on marketplace,
it's good.
And basically,
I can actually go list it from here.
Yeah, so you can there's a way to list it. I believe you have to go into marketplace and add it through the marketplace.
Got you.
But there is and I'll it might be through a wallet. I'll have to send you the thing. But yeah, you can go onto the marketplace and you can basically list the card, give it your own price on it, and then wait for somebody to come in and bid on the card. And we think that's going to be a really, really big part of how things are kind of done moving forward. We think that the marketplace side of peer-to-peer buying and selling is going to be really big. So we're going to definitely lean on that as well moving forward.
Got you. Got you. Perfect. Thank you so much, Hadi, for your time
Fun
today.
stream, man. I love the
Really
fact that you
enjoyed the
that you hit a nuke on the way out, man. That was dope. We couldn't have timed that one better, eh?
Yeah.
By the way, this is a
Yes.
1966 tops, guys. It's 2026. How many years is that? 75 years. This is a 75-year-old card. You can't find me a 75-year-old card in Pokemon. You can't find it anywhere, only in baseball. So I told you at the start of the stream, we're going full circle. Give full credit to baseball, man. We wouldn't be here today without these kind of cards from baseball, man. So shout out to Billy Williams. I can't tell you I know who he is, but the fact that he's got a card that's 75 years old, that's still worth $350 is very, very, very impressive.
100%. Thank you so much for your time, Hadi. To the listeners out there, please do follow Gacha Sports. Give it a try. We're having so much fun here. And thank you for joining us. See you on next live stream. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Hadi. Bye-bye.
Uncommon. Let's go. Woo!